Now, an emergency weather alert from Andy's Randomness.
Okay, good evening everyone. This is Andy Pollock, the executive producer, director, creator of the Andy's Randomness YouTube channel. We have an urgent situation, another emergency weather alert, this time in Houston, Texas, as tropical storm, and I'm only saying the correct name here, Tropical Storm Nicholas is currently making landfall in Houston, Texas right now. This is expected to be another catastrophic flooding event, just like what happened in New York City almost 2 weeks ago. So yet again, another tropical system that is making impact on the U.S. mainland. Now, remember this. 4 years ago, back in 2017, Hurricane Harvey devastated Houston, Texas. This is yet another similar situation that, again, right now, this storm is about to make landfall in Houston, Texas. So, what I'm going to do right now is take you to a couple extra radar images. Just zooming in here for a second. And what we'll do is, let's do a legend here. And let's go to layers. What I want to do is shrink the occupancy down to around, can we do 70? Do 70, that would be a fair number. Okay, there we go. So now you can see Houston, and on this you can see that is, yeah, see there's a band of rain right there. That's, yeah, right there in Galveston. And then you got Houston. So this band of rain, it's on its way to Houston. So again, this is making landfall right now in Houston, Texas. So what I want to do is just close out the tabs so that way the CPU doesn't go crazy on me. Because lately, whenever I give this computer a hard task, the CPU decides to just randomly act up. So here it is, right here. Heavy band is coming. It is coming. It's going to come later tonight. Now we're looking at tropical tidbits, and I'll just move this a little bit to the right so you all can get an idea of what this storm is currently doing to Houston, Texas. I just want to note this system is going to also impact parts of Louisiana and some parts of Mississippi. We're only speculating that some parts of the system, and according to the track, could impact New Orleans, which was hit a couple weeks ago by Hurricane Ida. There goes the CPU. Now when I close out tabs, it works. So there we go. A couple more looks at the radar. Really want you to see the amazing strength of this. And I will end the video on a closing loop from the Geocon radar. But there you go. Slowly approaching Texas, and taking a look here, the clouds are moving into Houston. Some clouds have even made their way all the way to Lake Charles, Louisiana. Then you got right here in Houston, right there. Just taking a look. So now what I want to do is take you back to Worldview. We always go back to Worldview for a good reason. So what I want to do right now is zoom in to where this formed. This formed back on Monday last week. And as you can see here, this was trying to form in the past couple of days. Then we noticed on September 9th, which was last Thursday, that it was slowly trying to approach the Gulf. I've been keeping an eye on this all weekend, and as soon as I knew it was going to make landfall tonight, I had to give coverage of this storm. So there you go. This is our latest image from NASA as it's making landfall right now. Once again, this is Tropical Storm Nicholas. We want to speculate. We don't want to speculate the wrong name is what I'm saying. But we can give you this advisory from the National Hurricane Center. So this is simple that I gotta read. Heavy rainfall will impact portions of southeastern Texas, Louisiana, and southern Mississippi throughout the remainder of this week. Significant rainfall amounts are possible. So again, it's very important to monitor your high tides if you're along the coast of Galveston, because that could be important with the wind. So hopefully by now people have evacuated, because now this is it. This is when the storm's making landfall. So taking a look at the rainfall potential, this is what I want to see right here. So as you can see, New Orleans may get 4 inches of rain, which that is the last thing they need right now after what Hurricane Ida did 2 weeks ago. You're looking at 4 inches in Houston, but again, there's a possibility that 6 inches could come to Houston, which again, remember, Houston was devastated back in 2017 with Hurricane Harvey. So I'll just mention that. Taking a look at the flash flood potential, because we're more concerned about flash flooding. Yeah, see that? We're looking at a 20% chance moderate risk. So I want to move this down so you can read it. 20% moderate risk, Houston, all the way to New Orleans, even some parts of southwestern Mississippi. Then you got the highest chance near Galveston, Texas. This is Galveston right there. Very alarming situation that, according to this graphic, that flooding conditions are expected until Thursday. So that's 4 days from now. Thursday. It's only Monday evening. Well, technically, if I'm counting it correctly, that's 3 days from now. Okay. Because I'm just baffled on how quickly this storm has formed. So the winds have already come. Winds are already here. So what I want to do next is go to wind speed and then take a look at the cone of uncertainty. So there's the wind near Galveston, getting into Houston. And then what we want to do is go over to our warning cone. And again, this is going to be around, so at least Thursday. This is moving very slowly. And right here, it just moves like it just wants to stay. And that's very alarming. So now what I want to do is go to windy.com to get you an idea of the wind on the GFS model. So let's go to our GFS. And let's see what the wind looks like. So we're going to move this very slowly. That way you get an idea. And there's an eye. That's kind of alarming to see an eye in a tropical storm. So there it goes. I mean, thankfully the wind does die down. Unless you're around the coast on Tuesday by Beaumont. So the wind does die down. That's some good news at least. But you're looking at a situation where the wind gusts could be near 30 miles per hour by tomorrow. Still by tomorrow. This is just tonight. This is just 9 p.m. for an example. And you see here by Lake Jackson, heavy wind by the shore. Thankfully, Houston doesn't see that much, unless if I'm wrong here. Now, here comes the wind. Now, I'm not seeing any heavy wind that much, maybe around 25 miles per hour in Houston. But, again, the main concern is going to be rain. That's the cause of concern for this evening. That's what we focus on. So now what we want to do is just see if we can pull up any power outage numbers, since this is making landfall at this particular time. So let's pull up poweroutage.us. And currently right now, we're still looking at a bunch of outages still from the effects of Hurricane Ida a few weeks ago. Just want to see Orleans Parish for a second. Yeah, so Orleans Parish has done a good job. They've restored the power in a 2-week period. But all these other rural parishes, not looking so good. Not looking so good. So now what I want to do is go to Texas just to see if we can get any outages there. So I just wanted to look at New Orleans, unrelated note. Okay, here we go. Outages are from, let's pull up the right Power Corp. Here we go. CenterPoint Energy is reporting 2,738 customers are without power. Mostly Galveston's the cause of concern right now. 2,964 customers are without power. For a small county, how come it says 1,000 but yet almost 30,000 power customers in that small county? So that number might tick up later this evening in Galveston County. Yeah, Barzona. We may have to keep an eye on these counties because, again, they're right on top of the water. And with the flash flooding, that's not a good situation. So now we're just going to take a look at the latest GFS model on Tropical Tidbits. As you can see here, it is moving very slow. And we don't want to see that because it moves into Louisiana on Wednesday, then goes into Mississippi later Wednesday evening. Then you're looking at a situation, and there's a possibility that some remnants of this storm, it's a tropical depression, could still be in Alabama on Thursday. So I'm not seeing any rain for New York on Saturday, which is good because I'm going to an outdoor wedding on Saturday in Stony Brook. So that's some good news at least. Oh man, another tropical system tries to form off. Hopefully that's not right. I'd hope not. So I'm not going to get to... Well, yeah, should I get to the NAM? Yeah, let's go to the NAM. Let's go to the NAM. You can pull up the NAM model. That would be very good. So I just want to see how the NAM looks. Yeah, there's the NAM again. And as you can see, this is moving very, very slow. And again, we don't want to see that. Wow, look at that. It even tries to strengthen on Wednesday. Still as a system that just doesn't want to go away. Alright. So that will wrap up this update on Tropical Storm Nicholas. Again, it's going to have to really vary on a lot of factors on how this storm will end up. In fact, before I wrap this up, I'm watching my ABC affiliate in New York City right now because it's 6:19 p.m., 5:19 in Houston right now. And the chief meteorologist, Lee Goldberg, for WABC is showing a live image right now. I believe this is... Hang on, is this Galveston?
Big time rains that can get over a foot, maybe even a foot and a half of rain in that area. Back to the radar right now, and you can see the corridor right here. It's probably only about 100 miles south of Galveston, and of course heavy rain going into the Houston area.
Right, so it's about 100 miles south. Okay, so according to WABC TV, it's 70 miles south of Port O'Connor, Texas, 100 miles south of Galveston right now. So they were just showing an image of Galveston, and the camera is already shaking. So that's how you know the storm is making landfall. And I figured the only reason why that WABC was showing this, and I'm only speculating why this could be the case, is because WABC and KTRK, which is the ABC affiliate in Houston, they're both owned and operated stations. So I'm thinking they're probably sister stations. They want to cover this since, again, Houston is, I guess, a big TV market, and they do want to show it before we get to our regular weather here in the city. But as far as New York City, it's just humid if anybody's asking. So that's pretty much it. Please stay safe if you're in Houston. So I'll try to give more updates tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more storm reports, and maybe I'll try to get some more outage numbers tomorrow. So again, stay dry, stay safe, because again, we saw what happened in New Orleans, we saw what happened in New York City. You don't ever want to be in a situation where flash flooding could be a big impact. So please take our examples, because it's not an ideal situation. So until the next one, please take care.